How you doing, everybody? I'm Paul Walsh. How's everybody doing? You having fun? I thought it was really interesting to hear about self-driving cars and things that we're doing. In fact, we'll talk a little bit about how we're after turning some cars into payment instruments. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a few minutes. What I'm really going to spend a bit of time talking about today is disruption and innovation, and it's happening across all industries, right? It's not just in the auto industry. It's not just in retail, but in healthcare, we're in hospitality, and it's even bigger, we believe, and it's going to be even bigger, we believe, within the financial industry. And I spend a lot of my time just thinking about what do we have to do for our platform to ensure we can open it up and provide, our traditional partners, think about banks and merchants and acquirers, as well as our non-traditional partners, the ability to really transform this industry, really move this industry from where it has been in a closed and proprietary to a much more open and collaborative. And when we think about that, we think about the last number of years that Visa has been around. We've got today about 3 billion $3 billion cards in play. We're accepted in 44 million merchants, and our network is processing 65,000 transactions every second. So the ability to deliver that type of capability and drive that out is something that we're really interested in. But if you really take a look at where electronic payments happens today, it's really tied to the grid. It's really tied to, unlimited by the grid as it stands today. However, we believe there is a large explosion of connected devices within the next, few years. And in fact, what we actually believe is that every connected device, whether it's my wearable, my car, my fridge, my phone, are all going to be, or potentially could be, payment instruments. Moving from 3 billion cards to 21 billion connected instruments, accepted in many, many more places than we could ever think. Like, coming out of a store the other day, right, a Girl Scout says, hey, do you want to buy some Girl Scout cookies? And I was going, I'm from Visa. I don't have any cash. I have a credit card. And she took out her dongle, put it in the phone, and says, or Square, I accept credit cards too. So think about the impact that that's having, and it's happening at a scale that we believe is going to light up the planet in a totally different way. And we believe that in order to power that, we've got to open up our platform. So I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. The 3 big areas that we think about when we're opening up this platform is really data, or more importantly, finding patterns within data, is making technology invisible, and then it's co-creation or an omni-channel across brands to deliver capabilities or a new level of convenience for all of our clients and all of our joint clients. Before we do, let me give you just an example, and let me spend a moment probably just talking about my traditional morning, right? So usually I get up around, 5 o'clock. My family gets up around 5:30. We spend a little bit of time catching up. We may have a spot of breakfast. And then I have a tendency of going to work at around 6. So I leave the house at 6 to go to work. 10 minutes down the road, I stop in my coffee shop, right? I'm based up in Seattle. We drink a lot of coffee. I stop in my coffee shop, and I go in and I queue up, and then eventually I get to the counter, and then I ask for, wait for it, a grande, non-fat, no-foam, one-pump vanilla latte. You know that has to be real, right? No one can make that up. And then I'll pay for it, and then I'll go down the other end of the counter. I do this Monday to Friday, and I wait at the other end of the counter, and that takes about 15 minutes. I go in every morning, Monday to Friday, order my coffee, I get my coffee, and then I leave, 15 minutes. Think about the friction that's in that journey. Think about the patrons that are in that journey all the way through. Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 after 6, I get there. I order the same coffee. What if we could remove all of that friction out? What if I was able to leave at 6 a.m. in the morning? What if I didn't have to order ahead? What about if I got to the coffee shop and my coffee was waiting there? I didn't have to think about even taking out my wallet to pay for it. I was able to take that coffee and leave. 6 a.m., I leave the house. An alert is sent to the coffee shop that Paul is leaving. Don't make the coffee straight away, because I could turn left and end up here in Mountain View, or I could turn right and go to the coffee shop. So at 5 minutes out, a second alert is sent saying I'm here. The patrons in their data tells them exactly what coffee I want. I get to the coffee shop, my geolocator tells them I'm here, my digital wallet pays for it, I pick up my coffee and gone. What was 15 minutes is 15 seconds. And that's just a simple example of how we've to utilize all of those patrons in the data, how we've to truly think about technology and making technology invisible, and how we have to work together to actually deliver a much richer experience. 3 areas. The first area is patrons and data. So today, as you guys are all aware, there is 4 zettabytes of data on the planet. Everybody knows what a zettabyte of data is. It's 10 to the 21. If anyone counts in DVDs, it's approximately 250 billion DVDs. So there's 4 zettabytes today on the planet. 90% of that data was generated in the last 2 years. The vast majority of it is connected to an IP address. My wearable is generating data. My phone is generating data. My car was generating data. This room is generating data. I'm connecting to all of you guys. That's all generating data. By 2020, there will be 44 zettabytes of data on the planet. 44 zettabytes of data. Just so everyone is clear, 44 zettabytes of data is approximately 100 million printed copies of the Library of Congress. That's a lot of data. But the important is not just the amount of data, but how do we capture the patrons in the data? How do we think about what's happening with that data? And how do we start thinking about what Paul is going to do? How do I look at customer data, product data, social data, IoT? How do I then start understanding sentiment, ontology? How do I know what device or endpoint? How do I know what products and services? What way should I be analyzing that data? How do I interpret it? How do I then decide to make real-time adjustments? The real-time adjustment is, I didn't turn right to go to the coffee shop, I turned left, don't make the coffee, because that's going to be a cost that coffee shop just can't afford. All of these areas we have to think about when we're thinking about finding patrons in data. The second area is around making technology invisible. Removing technology from being an impediment to your client is extremely important. When we think about the credit card, fantastic technology, and now we're after making it ubiquitous across all aspects of our life. If we can truly deliver an experience where technology is not in the way, it is the most beautiful experience. Everybody knows the girl with the pearl earring, right? What happens if technology is in the way? It's not a really good experience anymore. So think about when you're delivering your service, your solution, your capability, what does that experience look like? Let me give you an example. This is the Marriott Hotel, probably a non-traditional partner. What they wanted, they came to us and they said, what we want to be able to do is make our guests, no matter what city they go to, once they come into a Marriott, I want to make them feel like a local. I want them to be able to experience the whole environment like they're a local. So what we built for them using our API was basically allowing a guest get to that room, pick up their mobile phone and look around and see exactly what restaurants or sightseeing tours that could be around them, just as if they were a local. And in fact, by just using their identity, we could actually then personalize it to the right restaurants that they want. Mash that up with Yelp and Google, and then we were able to give them ratings and reviews, tie it to a map to go even further. Now think about that experience. In fact, that experience is working so well that they're rolling it out today. Because their goal is, I wanted to remove all of that friction from my guests' experience in my hotel room. We've got to make technology invisible. Nobody is going to be able to deliver the end-to-end on their own. We believe it's important to connect to the network. It's extremely important to be able to work across partners to deliver a co-created offering for our clients. So we've been spending a lot of time really working on how do we enable that. And traditionally what was built by Visa, we're now saying is enabled by Visa. From moving from a closed and proprietary system, where we own everything from the services, the experience, to moving to a place where we can open that up, allow for our clients, our partners, to be able to utilize certain elements. Look, an example here would be Honda. What Honda wanted to be able to do is to move from a bad experience to a good experience. How many of you guys, when you're looking for parking, it's really tough, right? No? Yeah? Maybe? Okay, okay. San Francisco, there you go. There's a great example. And not only that, even when you're going for petrol, how do you pay for it? The two use cases that they had. So we allowed them to utilize our API that not only can find parking for you, click, reserve it, and pay, but direct you to it, taking that friction from their clients. Not only that, their second use case of being able to get to a petrol station or a gas station, depending on where you're from, and be able to have your car pull up and actually pay for that petrol. Amazing thing. Now, I still haven't figured out getting the pump into the car, but we're working on that one too, right? But there were two use cases, and that's what we're thinking about when we say enable. And not just our traditional partners, but to enable others too. And how are we looking at doing that? The way we're building it is we're delivering this through what we call our Visa platform. Our capabilities within this platform taken from our core and being able to provide them to issuers, to merchants, to FinTechs, to startups, to ISVs, to whoever wants to utilize these capabilities to drive a rich experience. In fact, one organization was using it to enable a much richer traveler notification system. So how many of you guys have actually gone traveling, right, and you forgot to ring up your bank and tell them, hey, I'm traveling? And what they do then is when you try and use your credit card, usually when you're just buying dinner or something like that, right, and your credit card doesn't work. Anyone ever experienced that? What these guys did is that they went and basically delivered this traveler notification system that I, when I'm traveling, can say, hey, I'm traveling and here's the location that I'm at. Don't block my card. The impact internally for a bank was that it reduced 46% of their call volumes by delivering this. From a customer experience, it actually drove up their CSAT and their NPS. Big benefits. And we were initially just thinking about CSAT and NPS until their CIO went, hey, and our call volume went down. He's in a happy place because every CIO was under pressure to reduce cost. So this was hitting on both aspects. And because of that, huge success. let's take another look at a startup, this company called Hyperwallet, and what they're doing with our platform.
Visa Developer, it's an open platform that provides access to a range of Visa capabilities. It opens up access to products and services such as Visa Direct, Visa Checkout, and many others. For our clients, that means that they're able to innovate much faster.
Hyperwallet is a global payouts platform. So essentially, we work with organizations and help them distribute funds globally.
We wanted to add prepaid cards as a method for paying out payees in our ecosystem. We saw Visa Direct as an efficient, frictionless way for recipients to receive their funds. People want that instant gratification to receive their payment for a job they've done, and Visa Direct delivers that.
Because there are so many different capabilities available on the Visa Developer platform, there's been an opportunity for a broader audience to get exposure to Visa Direct and the notion of push payments in general.
We've only now taken advantage of a couple different APIs, but there's so many APIs there about data validation, account validation, also taking funds, being able to consume funds and use those for another purpose.
I think I've always been impressed with Visa's clients in terms of their interest in innovation and thinking about how they can continue to service their customers better.
Visa has been a great partner as we grow our business, allowing us to enable new innovative payment options to our platform.
So the way we look at it is that by working together, we can light up this planet. In fact, just so you're aware of the opportunity, it's a big opportunity. The opportunity, we believe, is $17+ trillion. That's usually where people go, ooh. That's $17+ trillion. So our goal is to provide all of these APIs for yourselves and others to actually go and utilize. If you've got questions, please send some emails. Send them either to me directly or to the alias here. I'm really excited about what we're doing. I'm excited about working with some of you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.